Strap in, we got a lot to talk about. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. And boy, do we have a load of news to go over today. I apologize if I'm late, but I had a lot of stuff to do today, and I wanted to try to get as much basic information as I can to try to, convey it to everybody and let you guys know what's going on as far as Matt Stafford goes, the Giants possibly trading to the number one pick, and what's the likelihood of that, as well as Aaron Rodgers. So let's get into it. Before we start, as always, if you guys are enjoying the content, hit that like button. We're almost 10 subscribers away from 9,000 subscribers. It's going to mean the world to me if we get to 9K before the end of the scouting combine, and we'll try to get to 10K before the start of the season. So I appreciate every single one of you. And to the sponsors, thank you to the sponsors. BetUS, be sure to check them out for a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. Second and third are 125% as long as you use the promo code YouTube150. That's YouTube150. Now, let's go. Let's get into it. All right, so about midday today, I saw that the Rams are working on a deal with Matt Stafford. So all those dreams of Matt Stafford coming to the New York Giants died. In the arms of the angel. Matt Stafford stays with the Los Angeles Rams, and according to, I believe it was Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter, one of those guys, I think it was Ian Rappaport actually, the Giants/Raiders were willing to give him more on an extension than the Rams were willing to, and he's going to take less money to stay with the Rams. That is self-explanatory of why he chose the Rams over the Raiders and Giants. All the power to Matt Stafford. He's still one of my favorite quarterbacks I've watched in my era, so I'm glad he stays with the Rams and he's going to continue his success over there. It would have been a lot for the Giants to trade for Matt Stafford, and we don't really know how good that trade would have been. Bringing him in for a lot of money and trading draft capital when this team has a roster to build. This team has zero depth, and they need all the picks that they can get, and odds are getting in a trade battle with another bad team, you're probably gonna have to give up a lot if you were gonna get Matt Stafford. So in a little bit of a way, it's bittersweet that he goes and the Giants can focus on something else. Now, while this negotiation was going with the New York Giants and Matt Stafford's team at the combine, like it was confirmed, they did talk at the combine about what the possibilities were of coming to the New York Giants. That was confirmed. There was a lot of talk as the Giants, if the Giants do not land Matt Stafford, that they are going to be willing to trade up to the number one overall pick, that they're going to shift to plan B, and that will be trying to trade up to the number one overall pick. Now, although I like the idea because I really like Cam Ward. I've been watching more film of him, and I don't know. I just feel like I know he's not the best quarterback prospect in the world, but I really like Cam Ward, and I think the Giants can do a lot with him if they can develop him correctly. But no matter how you feel about the Giants possibly making a push for the number one overall pick, that seems like the Giants are going to try to do that based on all the tweets and from insiders and beat writers that I've seen. It seems like that is the consensus. That's what the Giants are at least willing to do right now. Besides how you feel about that situation, you can't help but think that this is very, very desperate from the New York Giants. We heard Joe Shane talk about, the quarterback position and, quote unquote, leaving no stone unturned when it comes to the quarterback position and trying to address it going into 2025. That means going in free agency. That means looking at trade opportunities. And that also means going into the draft, obviously. So you can't help but think that this is a bit desperate, very desperate for the New York Giants. Bobby Skinner said it perfectly in this tweet, kind of going over like, listen, this is the same GM that was willing to trade capital for Matt Stafford, a top-tier quarterback in this league, although he is older, and pay him considerably good money to play the quarterback position for a bad team right now. And you're telling me that, that happens and it falls apart. Now you're willing to trade up to the number one overall pick and get the best quarterback available. That just seems like you have a lot of pressure on you to hurry up and get a quarterback in here. As Bobby Skinner said it, if you're going to pursue Matt Stafford the way that you're pursuing him, that means you're not thrilled about the quarterback options that you are presented with in this upcoming draft. That could mean maybe they just don't feel right getting Shedeur at 3, which seems to be a very popular thing now. Or maybe they don't like Cam Ward either, but maybe they just think they can't get Cam Ward because maybe the Titans want him. So now they're forced to try to get Cam Ward, and maybe they like Cam Ward the entire time. They just didn't think that they were going to have the opportunity to get him. Now the back's against the wall. You put a cat in the corner, they have to claw their way out, so they're going to have to try to make a push for the number 1 overall pick. But like I said, this just seems desperate, and I've been scrolling all over Twitter, and they've been echoing the same concerns that I've been thinking about. This just feels like John Mara is in their ear saying, listen, if you don't get a quarterback in here for this franchise to be excited about, then we're letting you go. This is why now they're trying to get flashy names in here. They're not looking for Kirk Cousins. They're not looking for Jameis Winston. They're not looking for Sam Darnold. They're trying to go after big headline name quarterbacks. Matt Stafford, Aaron Rodgers reached out to them. I made a video about that, I think yesterday or the day before that. Aaron Rodgers reached out to them. I'm not sure if the Giants are expressing the same sentiments of trying to collab, trying to do a deal together. I don't know about that. But I think according to Diana Rossini, she said that the Giants are, of course, exploring all options at quarterback, like we all know, and then they specifically said, and Aaron Rodgers. So she confirms that I guess the Giants are looking into Aaron Rodgers. We don't know if they're interested yet. They are looking into it. My thing is, for those of you that were in my comments, and I get it, it's a legitimate concern. I'm not speaking out against you guys at all. For those of you guys in my comments that were concerned legitimately about Matt Stafford coming to the Giants because he's 37 years old and you'll have to dish out a lot of money and potentially trade for him, I don't know how you could be excited for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, yes, he was about 103 yards short of throwing for 4,000 yards last season, 28 touchdowns, 11 picks. I mean, he had a good year, very under-the-radar year for Aaron Rodgers at 41 years old. But we're talking about an increase of age, 4 or 5 years. He's going to be 42 during this season. And of course, you won't have to pay him a lot of money, and you don't have to trade for him. But he's going to be 42, guys. I just don't see Aaron Rodgers surviving behind this offensive line. There's just not many quarterbacks that can do it. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers for still being in the league at 42 years old. But he's just not going to survive. And on top of that, we've talked about the concerns in the locker room. He's not the best locker room guy. He's not a culture guy at all. He's a player's guy. He kind of picks and chooses who he's cool with. But if you're not cool with Aaron Rodgers, he's not cool with you. He tries to be LeBron with the roster and gets the guy that he wants and only the guys that he wants. And I don't think it's a great environment to groom up another quarterback. A guy that's supposed to be a leader. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, these guys have leadership qualities that a lot of scouts have said that these guys possess leadership qualities. I really like Cam Ward. I really like his attitude. I really like his headstrong mentality where he really does not care what anybody thinks of him, and he shows that on the field. I really like Cam Ward. I don't want to get to glazing Cam Ward right now, but as far as that goes, I don't want to ruin that mentality. I don't want to ruin that attitude by bringing in an Aaron Rodgers and kind of muddying the waters a bit, on what it means to be a franchise quarterback for an NFL team. So I'm not thrilled about the Aaron Rodgers option. The Giants could be pursuing that as a plan B option, as well as moving up to the number 1 overall pick. Now that they don't have to give up a pick to get a veteran quarterback in here, they can just sign Aaron Rodgers. But to end this video, I would pose you guys with this: why not Russell Wilson? I mean, if the Giants are really pursuing Aaron Rodgers, that means age is no concern. And if the Giants were willing to get Matt Stafford, that means money was no concern. Okay, you have Russell Wilson, who's about, around Matt Stafford's age, I would say. I'll put it, in post-editing how old he is. And he's not going to be commanding Matt Stafford money. I mean, and Russell Wilson has been a proven winner. And he helped the Steelers get to a good record. He had a lot of decent games for the Steelers. And I know his Denver days weren't great, But I think Russell Wilson can go out there and help us win games. Him along with Brian Daboll. I think Russell Wilson very much understands a complicated offense. He is a leader of men. This guy is a vocal leader. Everybody loves Russell Wilson. And I know he had his bad times in Denver, but he took it all. If you watch Russell Wilson's time at Denver, right? You watch what happened over there, that debacle over there. It wasn't great, and he didn't play great. What happened when all his teammates were going up against him, yelling in his face, start screaming and crashing out on the sidelines because he did something wrong? What did Russell Wilson do? Nod his head. He acknowledges he messed up, and he wants to go out there and focus on the next play. He's a leader. He doesn't crash out. He doesn't let his emotions take over him. This guy is perfect to have for a young quarterback, whether it be Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. A great model quarterback for a franchise. I think Russell Wilson should be the option for the Giants if they're serious about winning games while simultaneously developing a rookie quarterback with the right attitude, with the right mentality, and kind of showing him the ropes in the best way possible to be a franchise quarterback. You would get Russell Wilson. You missed out on Matt Stafford. He would have been a great option. Do not go after Aaron Rodgers, for crying out loud. Dude, there's just no point in it. Go after Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, believe it or not, you guys know this if you guys have been paying attention last year. Russell Wilson was going to be a New York Giant last year, okay? He was going to be a New York Giant last year, but Joe Shane said, Daniel Jones is going to be our quarterback. If you get signed here, we're not paying you a lot because you're going to be on the minimum deal like he did with the Steelers, and you're going to be the backup. Like, you're not competing for a job, you're going to be a backup. And he said, all right, I'm going to go to somewhere where I feel like I can compete for a starting job. And he went with the Steelers to compete with Justin Fields. So that's why I want Russell Wilson. He was so close to being a Giant last year. After like 4 years of talks of him possibly being a Giant, it almost happened. And this is the year where it could happen. That's the guy who I want in this season to help groom up a new franchise quarterback, is Russell Wilson. What do you guys think in the comment section below? Be sure to leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. We are 10 subscribers away. Let's go, baby. 9K subs. Thank you guys for supporting me and watching the video. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the video. And we'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be a New York Giants mock draft if there's no other news than that. So, yeah. See you guys later. Woo!